Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, third grade. My name is Mrs. Nixon. I am so excited to be here with you to support you to become amazing thinkers, readers, and writers. You know what I was just doing? Did you know that picture books can actually teach a little bit about history as well? This one is called Thank You, Sarah. And Sarah Hale happens to be someone who was really important in saving a really amazing holiday that we're about to celebrate, Thanksgiving. Did you know that we almost lost Thanksgiving? I bet you didn't know that part, but there was a lot of things that were going on, and there's a lot of stuff that Sarah Hale really was responsible for in helping to set up our national holiday. She had to use a very, very powerful tool called a pen. And if you want to learn about what Sarah Hale did, besides write the poem, Mary Had a Little Lamb, then you're going to need to check out this book, Thank You, Sarah. You can do that by visiting your local library or going online and checking it out through Sora. You can learn all kinds of things there. Now, boys and girls, speaking of Sora, we love to talk about, here in Fresno Unified, schools that are checking out books through Sora. We have, back here on a poster, we've got our top 5 schools in the district for checking out books through Sora. So great job. If you want to see your school's name up on our poster, then make sure that you're checking out your books. Now, there's something else that you can also get, and I love to be able to share this with you. If you are interested in earning an activity book such as this one, it's really easy to do. You just send me a letter here to the address that's located at the bottom of your screen, and don't forget to put your address so that I can send you this book back in the mail, and you can tell me anything. You can tell me something that you're grateful for because we're coming up on Thanksgiving. You might want to share some things that you're learning about in your classroom or here at PBS. Or maybe it's just a story that you've written and you want someone to share it with. I'd love to see those. So make sure you're sending them down here. All right, and the last little bit of exciting news that I want to share with you. We have an activity that's coming up. It's on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. It's called Valley PBS Family Circle Fall Festival. When you come and watch that on Channel 18 at 7 o'clock, you get to watch Mrs. Reed-Wright teach you some arts and crafts. You get to watch how to make and learn how to make some homemade pizza. And then you can also see some guys from Fresno State do some really cool science experiments. So make sure you set your alarms for Wednesday, November 25th at 7 o'clock. Love to see you there here on Channel 18. Okay, it's Friday, boys and girls. I am so excited to get started today. I have 3 things that I want us to go through. We're going to look at R-controlled vowels, we're going to look at contractions, and then we're going to finish off with some synonyms. Are you ready to start? Okay, let's warm up our brains. Let's look at those high frequency words that we've been practicing all week. I know you guys know these now all the way through, so let's go through and read them together. More, most, look, long, man, many, me, may, make, and made. So I'm going to grab these 2, make and made. Make is M-A-K-E, and made is M-A-D-E. Now these 2 words actually are pretty related. One just happens to be we're going to make something, so that's going to be in the present tense, versus made is in the past tense. It's already happened. So help me use these in a sentence or 2. Here we go. Can you breakfast for everyone? He breakfast for everyone. Okay, so I gave you some clues. Can you made breakfast? No. Can you make breakfast because we want that to be in the present tense. Can you make breakfast for everyone? Well, look at what he did. He made breakfast for everyone. Isn't that awesome? All right, boys and girls, let's dig in and start working on what we have been practicing all week long. We've been talking about those R-controlled vowels. Now remember, R-controlled vowels can be E-R, I-R, U-R, O-R, and I've actually added a little, an additional pattern, E-A-R. Okay, I brought my shirt card to remind me of the sound that those spellings make. Do you remember it? Say it. You got it. Okay, let's read some words that have that sound. So we've got I-R says like in this word, birthday. Nicely done. How about ER in this word? Ooh, it's a long one. Sound it out. Shepherd. Shepherd. Good. And UR says like in this one. Return. And our last one, EAR says like in search. Good job. Okay, we're going to switch gears just a little bit and talk about contractions. Now, contractions happen to be when you are taking two words and you kind of smash them together. Sometimes when we're talking, we get a little bit lazy and we don't say all of our words. We kind of smash them together. Like, instead of saying did not, we would say didn't. I didn't do my homework. You could say, I did not do my homework. Now, it's really important that you're able to know what words make up these contractions because that's going to help you with your comprehension. So let's go through and let's practice. I've got a bunch of contractions up here, and then we're going to talk about what words make those contractions. So let's talk about how to split those contractions. Here's the word didn't. We've talked about this same one all week, and that's okay. It's good to practice over and over. So what two words make up the word didn't? See how we've got that apostrophe T? I'm going to move it over just a little bit, and then I've got a letter that's going to pop out and cover that apostrophe. So now I've got two words. And what are my two words? Did not. Okay, so let's go through and talk about some of these. We've got theirs. So what two words make up theirs? I know I've got there. I'm going to give myself a little more room here. There. And what would I have that has an S? You got it. There is. So whenever I see theirs, I know that the two words there is what it stands for. How about this one? I've got my eye on you. Okay, well, you know that it has I, but what other word goes here? Here it is. I have. Great. Okay, now we've got this contraction here, and I've got two of them. Why do I have that? You've got it. So I know that it's going to have she in both of them, but what does this D stand for? It's got two different words. One can be she had, and the other, she would. Now, why is that important? Again, boys and girls, remember that when you're reading a story, you want to be able to understand what the story is actually saying. So I've got these two sentences. We've looked at them all week, but I just want to drive home that point, that the contraction she'd can go in both of these because they can mean multiple things. So she'd go again later simply means break it apart. What would it be? She would go again later. Yeah. And she'd been to the store twice already would be she had been to the store twice already. It's important in your minds that you start breaking those apart. Okay. Today is Friday. We're going to spend a little bit of time. I've got a story that actually uses some contractions, and we're going to go through and read this story together, looking at those contractions and breaking those contractions apart. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to grab my pointer stick right here. So this is Kia and Mia, and they're at home, and there's a little bit going on with rule following, or maybe they're not following the rules. I'll let you be the judge. Okay, Kia and Mia at home. Kia and Mia are at home. As always, Kia has an idea. I'm hungry, she said. Let's make a snack. What is let's? Let us. Good. Let us make a snack. But we don't know how to make food. We'll need to learn the rules first. So here we go. We will need to learn the rules first, Mia says. That isn't a problem. It'll be a breeze. Who needs to learn rules? Kia was happy with her idea. Mia was not as sure. Well, I don't know. It does not seem safe, but we can give it a try. Kia looks around. Is this the stove? Uh-oh, I'm not happy about this so far, says Mia. Let's forget the stove. We'll have tea. What is this bag for? I can't tell. I think we're making a mistake. Well, you are right. Let's have an apple. Kia laughed. So, boys and girls, is it important that we are able to follow the rules? Could you see what these girls were going through? Here's the big question. Were you able to understand what those contractions were saying in the story? I didn't point them all out as we went along, but there were multiple ones. That isn't a problem. What does isn't mean? That's right, is not. So it's important as you're going along that you're able to identify those. Now, I also gave you a little writing assignment. If you're interested, you could write about a time when you followed the rules, just like Mia and Kia. All right, boys and girls, let's finish off the week talking about synonyms. We've been talking about them all week long. Synonyms simply mean the same. I love that they both start with the letter S. So things like start and begin, pretty and lovely, quick and fast, those are all synonyms. Those words mean about the same. Now, an author would go through and also oftentimes use synonyms, especially when coming across words that you may not be familiar with. We like to refer to them as context clues. So when we look here, we have a sentence. Let's read it together. He would have to live on the barren hill. The empty hill was not a place anyone wanted to live. Okay, so let's be honest. Let's look right here. Barren. I don't know what barren means. What does barren mean? Can I use some context clues and maybe find a synonym to help us out? Okay, so they lived on a barren hill. What does it tell us in the next sentence? It says the empty hill. So what do you think barren means? That's right, nothing's there. Okay, so nothing's there and it's not a place anyone wanted to live. So then I know that barren is not rich, but it would mean that it's deserted. Okay, boys and girls, it's been a fantastic week hanging out with you. Thanks for hanging with me this morning as you're getting ready for school. Remember, you're responsible for your learning success, so listen, ask questions, and share your ideas. Have a fantastic week, and weekend. Can't wait to see you back here next week on Monday. Have a good one. Be safe. Bye-bye.
To a brand new day, time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.